Welcome to Money Matters. Today I want to show you how to analyse a buy-to-let deal. I've been on Rightmove this morning and I found a house that I'd be quite interested to buy, to put a tenant in there. So I'm going to be doing the figures straight with you guys now to show you what I look for and what tells me if it's a good investment or not. So the first thing I look at is market value, and I'm going to call it MV. So I figure out, on the listing on Rightmove, it says it's on for sale for £60,000, but that might not always be the market value. So what I've done is I've had a little research down the street and I've worked out the market value for this street for 2-bed houses, which is this one is 72,000. So that's the market value. Now, the purchase price for this is this price that's listed on Rightmove, and it's £60,000. So already I know I'm going to get it below market value, but is it enough below market value for me? So next thing I work out is the possible rent that you can achieve each month. So what I do is I go on to Zoopla, I put the postcode in and I look at what's renting in the area and what Zoopla suggests to me as good rent. And it suggested for this area £450. So for a house you're going to buy for 60,000 and get back 450 a month, that's not too bad, is it? We don't think. So the other thing I then need to work out is the mortgage, 75% loan to value mortgages. Now I know people can get buy-to-let mortgages that are 85% loan to value, but 75% will keep you safe. And you want to do the figures so the figures keep you safe. So on a 75% loan to value mortgage, I'll put 75% so we know, you're looking at a mortgage of 45,000 being left on the house. Okay, so the next thing we need to look at to work out if it's a good investment is we need to calculate money in. The first thing we need to work out is a deposit. So if my mortgage is 45,000 on 75%, my purchase price is 60,000, I know the deposit in there is going to be £15,000. Now the next thing you need to work out, because when you buy a house, you've usually got stamp duty and tax to pay, and you've got your legal costs to pay. So because I know this varies across the country and it varies from place to place, but I just use 4% to give me a really good feel for what the legals and tax are going to be. So I've got tax and legals, and I'm using 4% for those. So, and it's 4% of the purchase price to give me what the general tax and legals are. So in this instant, it's going to give me £2,400. Now the next thing I need to work out is renovation. Do I need to do any refurb to the property? Now I haven't actually viewed the property yet because I will go and view it. And once I view it, I will redo these figures. So this is just to tell me if I need to view it or not. So refurb, now I've had a good look at the pictures on Rightmove. The kitchen looks fine. It looks like it's got a brand new bathroom. The attic room looks like it's been redone because it's got fresh carpet in there. And the outside looks fine. So to me, it just needs a really good decorate because it's decorated like my nana would decorate a house. So yeah, I would want to redecorate that to attract some really good tenants in there. So I'm gonna say, because it's only a few rooms that need decorating, I'm gonna say about £2,000. So I'll put refurb here and we'll put £2,000 there. Now that should give us the total money in that we need to purchase this property. So the total money in comes to £19,400. So that's just to purchase the property if we're buying it with a traditional mortgage. Now we need to work out monthly expenses. So I put monthly expenses here. So what do we have to pay per month to keep the house? Well, the first thing we have to pay is your mortgage payments. So I'll put mortgage payments there. Now what we do, we work this out by saying, just generally, it's going to be on a 3% interest only mortgage. Now you can do capital and repayment. You don't have to do it on 3%, but this is generally what we find from all the properties that we've purchased. 3% is about right. And you can start off on interest only, and we'll be doing another Money Matters about whether you want to do interest capital payment, but for today's model we're just going to assume 3%. So for this one you do 0.03 times by outstanding mortgage, which is 45,000, divide by 12 because you've got 12 months in a year for each mortgage payment, and you're looking at wrong colour, 11250 per month to pay for your mortgage. Now, that should be down here, sorry. 11250 to pay for the mortgage. Now, you've then got your management fees. A lot of people debate with me whether to have an estate letting agent looking after it for you or not. I say as a business owner, I want to be working on my business, not in my business. So I feel it's very important that I'm not tied up in the nitty gritty, doing tenant reference, chasing rent, or when they ring up and they've got a light bulb out, I'm not dealing with that because my mind needs to be dealing on growing my business. So I always pay management fees, and 10% I don't feel is a lot to pay when that headache's gone and it's fully managed. Yet you might say that this figure doesn't apply because you're going to manage it, but that's just my view. So management usually typically is 10%, and it's 10% of the rent. So we know we can get £450 rent a month, so my management is going to be £45. Oh, that looks like an 8, but it's a 5. I'm really rubbish at writing on whiteboards. The other thing we need to look at is maintenance and voids, and typically again per year these are about 10%. So again you do 10% of your rent that you're going to save, and that's £45. So your total monthly expenses comes to £202.50 when we add those up. So now we've got two really important pieces of information. We know the total amount it's going to cost us to buy, and we know how much it's going to cost us to run. So now we work out our return on investment, and this is what every investor uses to work out whether it's a good deal or not. So ROI, return on our investment. So what we do is we do monthly cash flow. We need to know first off. So we do rent minus expenses. So I'm going to do monthly cash. So our rent is £450 minus our expenses, which is £202.50, gives me £247.50. So that's how much money I'm going to make per month. Now, we need to get annual cash flow, so we need to work that out how much it's going to be over the year. So all we do is take £247.50 and times it by 12, and that gives me £2,970. So nearly £3,000 profit a year once you've taken all them expenses out. Now, to get your ROI calculation, your return on investment, to say is it a good deal or not, you do your annual cash flow, so which is 297. You would then divide that by your total money in. Now your total money in, we worked out, was £19,400. So £19,400, and then you times that by 100. And that will give us 15%. Now, there is some debate about what's a good return on investment. Some investors are quite happy with that. I like properties that are 20-25% ROI. So for me, this might not get me jumping in my car going to view it. What I would do is I would ring the agents and see whether I could get this price reduced before I went to view. Because for it to make my 20%, I'm probably going to need to drop that to about 50,000 to buy. So one of the things I like to do is I also like to work out, is this a no money down deal? So no money down deal would where you would buy it cash, and then you would refinance it and be able to pull your money out after doing some work to the house. So buy cash, refurb, and then remortgage and pull your money out. So we're going to work out whether these figures allow it. Now, what I do is I work out what my 75% mortgage would be on my market value. So my 75% mortgage on my market value would be 54,000. That's not even going to give me enough to pay back purchasing the house. So that won't be an only down deal. However, if I manage to get this house for 40,000, so instead of my purchase price being 60, it's 40,000, say, then if after the works I'm going to do to it, it gets valued at 72,000, 54,000 out with a mortgage would allow me to pay back the cash, plus it would give me some extra for refurb and the taxes, etc. So it could be a no money down deal. Now in reality, I don't think the agent's going to drop that to 40,000 for me, but you kind of see my thinking and where I'm going with it. So this is what I like to call a back of a fag packet analysis. It's before I jump out of my chair and go and view something, I like to work out all the figures and work out, is it worth my while going to view and going to look at it? Is it going to make me enough money back? And again, I like it to be over 20-25% return on investment to make my money back. But some investors would be happy with that, so you need to just understand what you'd be happy with and what you've got to play with. This wouldn't be a no money down deal, so I would need to have 19,400 to put into it. And that's how you analyse a buy-to-let deal. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's Money Matters. If you have, give us a like, subscribe to our channel and share it, because we want to show everybody how they can do this. Thank you very much.
That's the end of this week's Money Matters. Watch out for next week's edition. If you've liked it, please literally like it. Subscribe to the channel. Get your friends to do the same. You've been wonderful. I've been Paul. See you next time. Bye-bye.